Tabletop Spotlight, brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Hey everyone, I'm AdamHarry from Bella Souls with
Evan from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
and we're back with another Tabletop Spotlight in a big old box.
Big box.
Evan, what is this
There's
game?
two people behind it. It's Daedalus, the Daedalus Sentence.
Ooh, that's
So-
a nautical theme, huh?
Yeah. It's a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players where they're all trying to escape from a prison and get past the guards and stuff like that. So it's a cool cooperative game. A giant box. Yeah.
I feel like they use this box to escape from prison.
Yeah, actually,
Like-
put one of your players in this
Yeah,
box.
like
and
Metal
they
Gear
have to
style.
get out.
Yeah, like
yeah.
come around. Let's take a look inside the box, man. Here we are with the Daedalus Sentence. This thing is huge, man.
These people look scared.
They do.
I mean, if something with tentacles was chasing after me, I'd be pretty scared too.
Yeah. No, I'm not a fan.
Yeah. I want to see the bit.
I do. This thing looks massive though. Don't throw your arm out. If that's a possible thing.
All right. Back of it.
Okay.
Choose the components. This is what the map's gonna look like. It's a circular map.
Nice.
Yeah, you ready?
I think so. This is a crazy looking game. Again, just pretty
It's
massive.
good have to it. I want to say this box is nice quality at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a good build quality. I like that.
All right.
Whoa.
So this is just showing Eagle Griffin is one of the games as the publisher.
Yeah.
It shows some of their other games.
They have a ton of stuff.
Which I'm sure we've had on here
We've
before.
covered
Looping,
a couple of
Looping.
them. Yeah.
Manual.
We'll go over that in a
all
second.
color.
Full color.
Yes.
These look like player cheat sheets.
Yeah, so these are going to be detailed player summary, so what
There
you
we
can do in the game, and then this side shows you what each type of tile does.
Yeah.
So these are great. You got 4 in here because this is 1 to 4 players.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, 1 means you can play solitaire in this game. So,
It's true.
That's nice.
We've got a couple of these player cards, I guess. So we've got, yeah, okay.
Hive
Keenan,
Commander.
the Hive Commander.
So
you have
interesting.
powers too. Okay.
It's a cooperative game, though. That's interesting. We'll get to
Respawn, captured, cannot activate. So there's Audrey the Sprinter.
yeah, and so each character also is going to have a different ability to help you out.
Oh, it's Morrow here.
Yeah. So they'll describe the ability or the
Do
power.
they have the same kind of general actions?
Oh,
I don't think this is a.
I think this is the bad guy.
That's a bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these guys are definitely
good, and then these are the other options for you.
Well, I don't know how good they are if they're trying to, run away.
They are in prison.
They are in prison.
They
so-
did break a law.
So they
let's
did
keep
something
that in
wrong.
mind.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, we've got Audrey the Sprinter, Morrow's the Stealth, Jamie the Scout, Baxter is Stock. That's weird. And then
Interesting.
Clay's
and
the
Clay
Brawler.
the Brawler.
All right. So
Yeah.
these are the 5 different player types.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
then, of course, this guy is just the Hive Commander.
We'll take a look in the rules for him.
Yeah.
He might be like a bad guy gun kid
Maybe.
or a traitor to his own kind. We'll see.
Probably both.
Probably both.
All right.
What is this? Looks like
Deck card, probably for the respawn. That was that respawn zone we saw earlier. So
maybe. Yeah.
maybe it's something like that.
Okay.
We'll take a look.
Ooh, and here's the board. This is
Wow.
all shrink wrapped.
Yep.
So
Big board.
yeah, it is.
It's single-sided, probably.
Man.
I don't know. There's a thing.
So I think what happens is actually, since these are punch outs, you build the board, so that way each game is going to be randomly generated board, so each game is going to be a little different, which is nice.
Yeah.
So you'll have a punch out and then you'll build the board. I think what you do is you're going to lay them upside down. I don't know for sure, but you lay them
Oh,
upside
yeah,
down,
as you
and
travel
flip them-
through the-
Yeah, while you travel
Okay,
through, you can find out
okay.
what kind of room it is.
So this looks like some kind of exit. So you're probably trying to go from here to the
there,
next
yeah,
one,
so you're
and then
looking
find the
around.
exits.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then we have the player punch outs too. So
I kind of like how it's all shrink wrapped together, just in
Yeah.
case, like, if you open the box, it's not going to have pieces everywhere.
right, we have
right
seen
off the
that
bat.
before.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. We'll move this aside.
Let's take a notice, too. There's little pockets in the box to hold your things.
Ah.
And then you have this.
This is the UFO frisbee that comes with it. Just kidding.
Oh, okay.
This is how the board goes on.
This
So,
is, yeah, so I want to say, too, this has kind of a, not levels, but like a kind of volume to it. And it has these nice rubber foots.
Yeah.
Feet.
Feets.
Foots.
Beats.
I got foots to keep it in place, so that's nice. This is basically the board, and then those
would go on the
they're gonna
respective
tiles
sections.
are going to go in the side sections. That's nice. That's really actually nice quality.
I like it.
Oh
we have
look,
crazy.
our favorite thing, shrink wrap.
Ooh, yeah, vacuum sealed.
Vacuum.
These are for all of the
minis.
figures.
Yeah.
We'll go over these in a second. There's a ton of those. So the minis go there,
Yes.
and then I like how it keeps
It's
everything
nice and fit. if you notice too, like
More minis
whenever
too.
you open this up and whenever you move these, because these aren't going to stay here, but I mean you can stack the
Oh yeah.
the pieces for the rooms here. So in all, it's nothing like you're gonna have the rules on
So,
top, but everything's gonna be like that.
Okay. That's,
Which is nice because if
cool.
you notice too, the box didn't close all the way. When
right.
we
I
opened
did.
it.
I did see that.
So I think if you have it down,
Once you got it all
once you're
down.
all down, it's
Yeah.
gonna close all the way, which is nice.
Nice. So it should be nice and flush.
Planning ahead.
And then I don't think that's just to do that pop out. I don't think there's anything in the bottom. where
No,
you
there's
check.
nothing in the bottom.
Making a lovely noise.
There.
Ah, my face hurts. Okay, we've got some gems or tokens.
Blue cubes.
We've got some dice. They look like tennis dice. 40 love.
40 love.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there's D6s. These are all different. Okay.
We have this dude.
cool.
He's a snake.
We'll look at the miniatures in a second, but then we've also got the decks,
Decks.
that again probably go on the board that we saw
this
earlier.
board right
so,
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's move this out of the way real quick, and we'll take a look at some of these miniatures. All right. Knocking stuff over. All right. Here we go. So these are probably the
Okay, so we
captors.
have another one of these guys. This guy's just brown. Instead
Maybe
of
he's the
tan.
hive commander.
He probably is. And then these guys look like, these guys are playable characters.
Yeah. So pretty simple miniatures. They're in like
Yeah.
weird bodysuits, honestly.
They're
but-
not super detailed, but they're not bad looking.
They're like Power Rangers.
Well, by any means.
Yeah, they're like relatively plain, but like they're board game pieces. So
Yeah.
I'm not looking for crazy high quality, you know.
I mean, you can still
Models.
paint these, but they're not like super detailed, so you're not going to be able to
Right,
get a lot
right.
of detail on them.
Well, that's the thing too. You totally could paint these, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually, the faces aren't bad. The face sculpts are pretty good. It's just the fact that they're wearing those like weird bodysuits that
Yeah.
there's not a lot of like armor plating or anything to show off. So, but they look pretty good, especially and it's at that type of material that's got a little bit of a give to it. So
Yeah,
if you
it's
drop
kinda like
them, it's not
between
going to break.
like resin or plastic. It's
Yeah,
like,
I think it's the PVC is the material, but it's kind of a vinyl-esque stuff that again you can bend the bits; they're not going to break off.
It's durable.
If you wanted to break them, you probably could, but
I mean, it's up to you. It's your
yeah,
game.
it's your game. Do what you
Yeah.
want, man. I'm not going to judge. So that's pretty much it for the miniatures, and we checked out these weird dice, which are cool.
Yes.
I think it's time we take a look at the rules, man. All right, so we have the rules here for the Daedalus Sentence. It's full color real quick. What is it, like 30, 20 pages?
It's not very long, no. I mean, pages themselves are big, but there's not
Yeah.
too much.
23
pages.
pages. You can see here the text is nice and big. It's pretty
Yeah.
easy to read.
Start at the beginning.
Yeah, flip back there for me. The game also comes with these handy detailed. We show these off
Right.
later. You're definitely going to want to use these while you're playing. So, but if you have any questions about specific stuff here, that's when you pull the rulebook out. So
And of course, the overview of the game is basically to win, you have to get everyone out of this prison. Everyone. So it's a cooperative game. If someone gets captured twice, or if all players get captured, that's when the game ends and you lose. So you want to help your fellow players out. It's completely cooperative.
the good news is that players act during phase 2, and we'll get to this all in a minute, but players act during phase 2 and you all act simultaneously.
Yes.
So there is some card sharing stuff that can happen, and you know you can kind of plan your turn
You can
out.
talk to each other and
Talk
stuff
to
like that.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So, but yeah, it's all about getting out and working together to do that. If we can take a quick look at the map real fast, you can kind of see players start in that center ring, which is where they're locked up, basically. And then your objective is to go to the outer ring and escape. So you start in the middle, and then you want to go through each section and clear it as fast as possible. And there's little gates. We'll flip to those here in a second.
And
but,
the interesting thing too is each ring will rotate in a random order. So let's go to this next page, just shows you the components, and then this page will go over what's called the Theseus board. This is the board we saw earlier where we thought of spawn points. This board actually determines a lot of the basically the AI, and it will determine specifically the Theseus calculates the next hive rotations and guard points. So the hive is the board, and it will rotate in random, seemingly random direction.
Which is why this board comes in so handy, because as players, your job, you're going to be taking a look at the board and trying to figure out how the rings are going to rotate and where those guards are going to end up, so that you aren't there when they do.
So it's kind of like an interesting cooperative puzzle game, basically. You know, you have to think ahead.
Yeah, and it's really cool that it rotates.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
really
really cool
cool.
mechanic. So, again, you saw the board pieces are like this. There's vent ducts you can climb through, and there's gate codes that you have to obtain. And then you break the gate codes. That's using the action cards or whatever like that too. But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward game. Do you want to just do a quick rundown of the phases real fast?
Totally, yeah.
Okay, so real fast, the first phase, we talked about that. That's where Theseus updates the board.
Right.
That's where you kind of predetermine stuff.
Yes.
That part. The second part is when the players actually do their actions. And there's a ton of actions. We're not going to go through all of them, but you can do stuff like discover rooms, attack the guards, locate specific actions, like use a gate room code, stuff like that. You can go to the resource lab and draw 2 cards, things like that.
And this is all simultaneous, so everyone does their turn at the same time.
Yep.
Which is great.
You only have a certain number of actions per player,
right?
And I think that's also determined based on the number of players,
right?
Because the game is 1 to 4 players, but you can also
there is a variance.
There's a variant, exactly,
for 2 to 5 players. And I think it increases the difficulty. As well.
Yeah, so you can do all that. The last phase in the game is when the hive actually activates, so all the guards move, the board rotates around and stuff like that. If you get caught, the players flip their character over, and you have a penalty for that, and then you move the characters back to their cell. And you also lose all of your cards, just kind of a big deal. Because you use those cards to it's like a matching game to break the gate codes.
Yeah.
And then the game, of course, ends if you're all captured or the same player gets captured twice.
Right.
So, yeah.
And this just goes over the phases real quick. I mean, if you're into the fluff as well, it will go over the story behind each character, which is nice.
Yeah.
Because there is a story to this game. It's not just some random puzzle game, so that's cool. Yeah, and then if we keep going.
Keep going here. These are the difficulty enhancers, so if you find the game is a little bit too easy for you, you're obviously way more skilled than everybody else. Well, they got you covered because they have difficulty enhancers.
Like even if you play this game multiple times and just each time it gets easier and easier, you can pump it up and that'll give it more replayability.
Absolutely.
So that's nice.
What's cool too is like if you find yourself again dominating the game, but your friends don't. You can up the difficulty for your, like this. You can just play with the difficulty enhancers. You can help your friends out because it's again
cooperative. Yeah.
So very cool stuff. And then of course the 5-player scenario. It is 2 to 5 players, I believe. So you have basically somebody controlling the Minotaur, which is like one of the big bads.
Yeah.
So pretty fun. It's the Hive Commander versus the prisoners. So
which is cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fun times. Pretty cool looking game. There's a quick summary here. Again, you get these summary cards. You're going to want to use them. And then there's also the room summaries, which will explain kind of how everything's breaking down. So yeah, let's hop out for a really quick recap.
Let's do it.
So that was the Daedalus Sentence, and it actually just dawned on us both why it's called that now.
Yes.
Because if
it dawned on you, and then I understood.
Yeah, if you look at a seashell, cut it in half, and it's got the rings,
Daedalus pattern.
It's the Daedalus pattern.
Which makes sense because you have to go through the doors, and it's going to be spiraling. Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
Makes sense.
I get it. Good job. Let's recap this one real quick.
Yes.
This is from Eagle Griffin Games.
Yes, and
also
Cripplefish studio.
The number of players is 1 to 4, or 2 to 5 if you want to play the variant.
So it's interesting. It is a solitaire game. You can play by yourself.
Playtime's 45 minutes, hour long.
Yeah, it's not a super long game. It's a good medium afternoon game, but not like 3 hours. It's not 2 hours. It's a good hour or so.
Recommended players, I believe, was
12 and up. I believe
10 and up.
10 and up. Okay, yeah, it's not too complicated. It's not graphic or anything like that. So kids can play it as long as they understand it.
Sure. And Evan, what's the price point on this one?
$149.99 is a bigger price point, but it's a larger game. You get a lot of pieces in it. It's a good quality.
And the replay value too. I want to mention.
Oh yeah, because the board is going to be changed every game, so that's a good point too.
So it's very randomized and a lot of replays. So go check it out in stores now.
Yes, in stores now. You can get it.
Cool. Well, I'm AdamHarry from Daedalus Souls.
I'm Evan from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
And this has been another Tabletop Spotlight. Thanks again for watching. Tabletop Spotlight brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Thanks for watching.